We have the backstage reaction to Hulk Hogan's Raw Netflix disaster. Plus, AEW talent could be departing and a faction could be ending. And we have an update on a major WWE star's return plans. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling News right now. There's a new villain on Netflix, and no, it's not Thomas from Downton Abbey. It's Hulk Hogan, who, I don't know whether you've noticed this, because I think we've only half mentioned it in maybe one video this week.
One video?
Maybe one video.
Yeah.
Hulk wasn't very well received.
No, not really. Not
LA.
really. Yeah.
And we've got a little update on that today from Fightful in terms of Hogan's reaction and reaction behind the scenes as well.
Yes, so as Tom said, this comes from Fightful, who said, those we spoke to said that Hogan was surprised and disappointed he got booed, but brushed it off backstage. We haven't necessarily heard that he was of the belief it was due to politics, but at the very least, there was nobody we spoke to disillusioned enough to think that was the sole reason. It was also suggested that Hulk Hogan revert to the NWO Hollywood Hogan and lean into the booze. A report from the Daily Mail said there had already been discussion within WWE of making Hogan a heel on TV. However, a WWE source close to Fightful commented, that certainly wouldn't have been the original plan. We're trying to sell beer, not get a 70-year-old over any way we can. Fightful adds that WWE's on-air partnership with Real American Beer isn't actually ending, but WWE may use a different legend or a modern WWE name to endorse the product.
I'm excited to enjoy a lovely, cool glass of Isla Dawn's Real American Beer.
Oh, goodness gracious me.
Yeah, I mean, that Daily Mail report was one that caught us off guard because very rarely do you hear sources go to the Daily Mail for stuff like this, which is why, a little pinch of salt on top of your dinner. So when Fightful brought this up, they went, well, that's probably not the case right now. I wouldn't be surprised if the private camp of Hulk Hogan was looking to embrace it in that manner, though. We might see
sure.
because it's whether, we talked a lot in a video yesterday about the reasons why Hogan is getting booed. It's not just a politically motivated thing. There are other reasons in the past of Hogan, incidents behind the scenes with him being quite a bolshy character to many people. Also, the racism scandal that rocked the WWE in the early teens, which saw Hulk Hogan get removed from the Hall of Fame. All of this adds to the reason why Hogan was getting booed. Regardless of all of that, I wouldn't be shocked if already we're still going to see we've got some videos planned from Hulk Hogan's team of Terry Bollea in the NWO black and white.
Oh, man, just trying to spin it into a... I don't know.
No such thing as
insane.
bad publicity.
But I think it's incredibly funny, though, that they might use a different legend or different superstar to promote his own beer, which is like you get what you deserve, Terry. You get what you deserve.
To quote the New Radicals, you get what you give. Gabriel Iglesias, a.k.a. Big Fluffy, was on the Raw Netflix premiere, and he was very critical of the Hulk Hogan segment when he spoke on the Rich Eisen show. He said that was painful watching Hulk Hogan getting booed last night. I'm like, wow, yeah, from great to hate, that was ugly. But I mean, at the same time, WWE should have known better. You know that Hulk Hogan's been out there on this political train trying to sell his beer and trying to be on the Trump train. So you take somebody like that and you put them in a blue state, you put them in LA. What else was going to happen? That might be the reaction. And I think in terms, as we say, recently that has been the talking point with Hogan backing Donald Trump and LA being in a blue state. But there's more going on there.
Plenty. I mean, if I'm remembering correctly, WrestleMania 37 as well, when him and Titus were out there dressed as pirates, he was getting heavily booed then as well. And that was a while ago at this point. So for also Hogan to say, as Fightful said, that he was surprised and disappointed he got booed. I mean, I don't understand what they expect at this point. It's like a given at this point, it feels like.
There have been occasions where Hulk has come back and not been booed in the wake of what happened. Obviously, he was there to to commemorate the passing of Mean Gene Okerlund, and there's been a few other instances where he's turned up on TV as well. So there have been occasions where he's been cheered, but mainly the major occasions when the lights are on brightest and the crowd are biggest, he's been booed. It's a story that we'll continue to keep an eye on. Dynamite took place last night. We saw Will Ospreay facing the House of Black's Buddy Matthews. After the match, Ospreay told Buddy he and Brody didn't need to follow a leader in the House of Black, in Malachi Black, and if they wanted somebody in their corner, he was their guy. I'm not your guy, buddy. It suggests once more that Malachi Black, who wasn't named in that section, his time with AEW could possibly be coming to an end.
Yeah, this comes from Fightful, who said those that we spoke to in the company were of the belief that he was finishing up with AEW if he hadn't already. They did not clarify if he'd be appearing on TV again. To be clear, we can't say definitively that Black's contract is up or that an option had been declined, picked up, or anything transactional. Malachi Black is still listed on AEW's official website. He's booked for a match at CCW on January 11th.
So we can reset that counter for...
I was about to say, yeah, the first one of 2025 already.
The first is Malachi Black leaving AEW story of 2025. Cha-ching, we're off and running. We've got a Hogan story and a Malachi Black story in the same video. The gods have shined upon us. Yeah, Malachi Black. Now, Tony Khan has said that Malachi Black is part of the company until 2027. Malachi Black, on several occasions when these things have come out, has jumped into his car and filmed a video on his phone saying that this is absolutely not the case. It lends itself to the idea being that Malachi Black could be going, but it also lends itself to a Will Ospreay Malachi Black feud. If Ospreay is trying to plant these seeds in the head of the House of Black that you don't need Malachi Black, what stops Malachi Black from turning up next week and just going, whoopah, kick to the face of Will Ospreay, and then we get Ospreay and Black?
Which is true, and I wouldn't mind that either, because I think that would be a fantastic match. And I think as well, like Buddy and Brody, even prior to Will Ospreay saying this, have been really proving themselves as single superstars for the longest time as well. So a little bit of a change for them, I think, would be really cool too. I think I saw someone suggest that Will might be even looking to form a new United Empire maybe as well. Whoa! With him saying there, like, oh, if you need someone in your corner, guys, I could be the boy.
Spicy indeed. Kenny Omega closed out Dynamite last night. His first appearance in many months on Dynamite itself. This comes off the back of his banger of a match against Gabe Kidd at Wrestle Dynasty. He addressed the crowd before Don Callis turned up. Omega chased him up the ramp, started beating him up, and then here come Murder Machine, Brian Cage and Lance Archer, and Carl Fletcher, who give Kenny Omega a big old shoe-in. Brian Cage even punching Omega in the abdomen.
You can't do that.
That's his diverticulitis.
It is.
No, you monster. Will Ospreay coming to the aid of Omega, though having a deep and passionate stare down as the show goes off the air. It was later announced that that Omega's first match back on AEW Dynamite will be next week at Dynamite Maximum Carnage, where he'll be facing off against Brian Cage.
Oh, that'll be tasty.
Should be a fun one, shouldn't
That'll be really good. Yeah, I'm just happy to see Omega back.
Yeah, definitely along. And I think that if there was ever any concerns about ring rust for a guy like Kenny Omega, then they were done away with in that match against Gabe Kidd.
My God. And not to mention, he's come back now as well with a theme song from Masayoshi Soken, who does the music for Final Fantasy XIV.
I thought you might be able to speak on this.
Oh my God, it's so good. It makes me happy.
As our Final Fantasy fanatic and aficionado in the room, this gets thumbs up. This gets
big thumbs up.
Two swords up.
I
was trying to remember what the name of
swords up.
I was trying to remember what the name of Cloud Sword was.
The Buster Sword.
What?
The Buster Sword.
Buster Sword.
So he gets two Buster Swords.
Sounds rude, that doesn't it?
It does.
Two Buster Swords. I'll be banned from Midco at this rate. Let's go back to WWE. Becky Lynch flavoured update for you now.
Yes, Becky Lynch is on her way back to WWE, but obviously she was absent from the premiere of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Many expected Lynch to show up on Monday night, but Lynch wasn't booked for the show, and she wasn't in Los Angeles for the event at the Intuit Dome either. Mike Johnson of PW Insider has reported that Lynch will be returning at some point in the weeks to come, but she wasn't wasn't brought back on January 6th because WWE want to make the most out of maximizing those moments and introducing those characters to the WWE crowd. Multiple names outside of Lynch as well are scheduled to return in the coming weeks, according to PW Insider.
And they want to spread these out a little bit, don't they? I don't think.
I agree.
I don't know where. I mean, there was some people that suggested that Undertaker was in the role on the Netflix premiere that Becky Lynch was supposed to have.
Oh, she was supposed to ride out on a motorbike as well?
Yeah.
I think I don't know if that's the case or not. Maybe it was, but I feel like obviously the first premiere on Netflix wanted to have all the legends that maybe a lot of people have dropped off of beforehand. You get all these people turn up to the casuals who are like, oh, I remember them from way back in the day, so I should tune in. But I think it's a good idea as well to not blow everything all at once in one premiere episode, but then be like, oh, well, there's a reason to come back because there's these are the people that I've heard of before and they're starting to come in. So let's tune in next week and see who comes. And then
you want to build it up. You don't want to use it. You want to build it and let it grow. Let it gradually build up. And then you know what you get when you build it up?
What?
Limit break.
Ah, that's the one.
I played Final Fantasy VII in the 90s.
You brought it back round.
I brought it back. I remember coming home one weekend and my third-party memory card had wiped itself and I'd lost 7 hours of Final Fantasy VII gameplay.
Well, that's all right. You get to play it again.
Oh, no, I don't think I'd ever been as sad in my life.
Oh, bless you.
I was absolutely mortified. Anyway, that's by the by. We'll have more wrestling news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Happy New Year to you. Keys.
I love you. Bye.
Can we still say Happy New Year?
Yeah, why?
I'm just checking because I thought there was like a limit on when we can.
What?
Love you, bye.